Hello and welcome. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Ask Dr. Lulu. My name is Dr. Lulu. I'm your favorite Keeps It Real doctor, coming at you from San Antonio, Texas this afternoon. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 things parents must know in order to raise a well-rounded, empowered, I would say productive, good-natured, cultured teen, and of course, adult. If you're just joining us for the first time, my name is Dr. Lulu, and I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a veteran, I'm an exercise enthusiast, and I'm a teen expert. So please let me know where you're joining us from. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me very well. If you're watching this video in the replay, please let me know where you're joining us from. I really appreciate that. If you're watching me live, my favorite people, please take a seat and relax and let's talk. So, first things first, you know me, I keep it real. Parents, if you want to raise a successful, well-rounded, empowered teen, you got to be successful, well-rounded, and empowered. You got to live by example. You got to teach by example. You have to have your child do the stuff that you are doing, right? An example, I walked into the office the other day and I had an 11-month-old kid to see. And as soon as I walked in the room, his dad started clapping because I walked in the room. And what did the little 11-month-old do? He started clapping. And right there, I told the dad, I said, you see, these kids, they watch us, they know what we're doing, they're copying everything that we're doing. So in summary, if you're a parent, if you have a teenager, if you have a tween, if you have a toddler, even a newborn baby, if you're worried about how you're going to raise that child to be a successful teen and a successful adult, one that's not going to fall into harm's way or into all the trouble that we talked about with regards to anxiety and depression, bullying, one that's going to survive life, one that's going to be happy, cultured, a good neighbor, a good citizen, you want to watch this video. And do me a favor, take 1 minute if you're watching me live to invite your friends, share this video, and tell them it's time to talk real talk about teens and everything else that have to do with teens. All right, so let's go. So first thing, parents, I want you to make sure that you remember to live by example. You want to lead by example. You want to teach your child by your life. Your life is the mirror through which your child looks at life. Your life is the window through which your child looks at life. So your life is going to be, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be near perfect, right? There's no books out there for how to be a parent, but we got to try our best every time. So what's the first thing we're going to talk about today? It's affection, love. I'm going to define it. Per Google, love is an intense feeling of deep affection. And affection is a feeling of fondness or likeness. So yes, the first thing you want to show your child from the moment they are born is love, unconditional love, right? However, do not confuse the love and spoil your child. Do not overlove your child if there's any such thing, right? You want to love them, but you still want to show them the way. There's some things that are right and some things that are wrong. Everything the child wants is not what the child is going to get. Every time the child says, I want this, they don't always have to get that. So loving your child also means telling them that sometimes you can't just get everything that you want. You want to show them unconditional love. You want to teach them to love their siblings, love their friends, unconditionally, which means they would do anything for their friends within reason. And you want to do the same thing too as a parent. You want to make sure that you're loving your child unconditionally, but also within reason, right? The second thing that kind of comes from that love is what I'm worried about, which is gratitude. I find a lot of kids these days are just not grateful. They're just not grateful. They're not thankful for what they have. My kids will be the first to tell you. They tell me, Mom, yeah, we know there are some children in Africa who don't have food. I'm like, yes, there are some children in America who don't have food. So you better not waste the little food that you have. So yes, absolutely. I agree with that. There are some children out there who don't have any food. And therefore, the little bit that you have, you must be grateful for it. You should be grateful for the things that even that you don't have. We all know that when we say our prayers, sometimes God's answer is no. Sometimes his answer is not yet. So we don't always get what we want. And so the child doesn't always have to get what they want, but they should be grateful even for the ones that they don't get. As long as my child gets what they need, I think they're doing okay. If it's what they want and I don't feel that they need it, then again, I get it. And it's okay. So teach your child to be grateful for the little bit that they have. Be grateful for their siblings, for their parents, for food on the table, for their teachers, for their friends. When they start having that positive attitude of gratitude, you're going to raise a child who's going to be a good adult. Because think about this. Who doesn't want a coworker who's great, who has an attitude of gratitude? Who doesn't want a coworker who appreciates the little bit that you do? This is the kind of person I want to be, my neighbor, right? And so you want to raise your child to be that kind of adult that shows gratitude no matter what. The next thing you want to talk about is respect. Oh, I love this one. So, respect. I cannot stand it when I walk into the office and have an 8-year-old or a 12-year-old or a 4-year-old or, God help me, a 17-year-old talking back at their parents. I cannot. It kills me. And you know what I do? I take a deep breath and I talk directly at the child and I tell them, say, look, listen, this little square room is my castle. You are not allowed to be disrespectful to your parents in my space. And when I'm done talking to the kids, most of the parents are like, yay, yay. But what's the problem here? The kids are learning these at home. They're learning these behaviors at home. I cannot stand it when you walk in the room and a child is looking you straight in the eye and they don't say good afternoon or hello or hi. Honey, that's not good. And I can't take that. So I usually say, I tell you like it is. I tell you, Mom, you got to do a better job. You just got to do a better job. Your child needs to learn respect because they say respect begets respect. So absolutely, I'm all okay with your child learning how to be respectful because if they're not respectful at home, honey, they're going to show out outside. And you don't want that. That don't look good. So please teach your kids to be respectful. Teach them to say please. Teach them to say thank you. Teach them to say ma'am and sir. It's okay. It's very, very okay for your child to be the one kid in the neighborhood who does that. Tell them Dr. Lulu sent you, right? Awesome. And then empathy, or one of my favorite topics. The definition of empathy is ability to understand and share the feeling of others. Isn't that powerful? Isn't that something that we all want? Empathy. You want to be able to feel what somebody else is feeling without necessarily going through the motions yourself. So yes, empathy starts from when they're children, when their sibling gets hurt, when their mom is sad, when the neighbor's dog gets run over. The child has to be able to feel that empathy, to be able to understand how that person is feeling, even without going through it themselves. It's totally okay. That child who has empathy is going to grow up to be a good citizen. Is going to grow up to be a well-rounded adult. Empathy. You can't buy that in the market. You want to teach a child to feel for others, feel for his sibling, feel for his mother, feel for his father, feel for his friend, his teacher when they're sick. It's not everybody that says that they're empathic that has empathy, but you could tell when a child has empathy because it's like, Mom, are you okay? Can I get you something? Not like they're playing video games while you're having stomach pain or whatever. You have a child who knows that, wait, everything is not okay. Let me take a moment. You know what? Let me cancel this. I don't think my mom is okay. I'm going to get back to you. And they're actually proud to say that. And it's okay. You want to teach a child to be empathic. I want an empathic child. I have one son who is actually extremely empathic. He always goes, Mom, how is work? And how are you doing? And all that good stuff. And then he feels for me. He actually shows me that he cares. And that's actually something that you could probably not buy in the market. And as one of the members of the village that it takes to raise your child, I do not mind telling you right off the bat when I meet you and I see that your child has empathy or doesn't. I usually kind of call them and try to set them straight in the office because I keep it real, you know. What are you going to do? So the last thing I have for you guys today is patience. I am the first one to tell you that I do not have that much patience, but I'm a work in progress. I'm working on it. This year, 2018, is actually my year of self-improvement. So I'm working on my patience. The definition of patience is the ability to accept or tolerate delays, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. How cool is that? So I'm here to tell you that a child who has patience is going to grow up to be a wonderful adult, an adult you want around you. No one that gets irritable, where every time there's a delay, they get irritable, they get that nasty attitude, and they're just not able to tame it. And of course, charity begins at home. So if the child is not doing it at home, they're not going to practice it outside. They're not. So, the five things we're talking about today are affection or love. You want to show your kids affection or love. You certainly want to teach them to be grateful, teach them to have an attitude of gratitude at all times, teach them to be respectful of their elders, of themselves, of their siblings, of their friends, of their teachers, of adults alike. Teach them to have empathy for others, the ability to feel somebody else and understand somebody else's what they're going through without necessarily going through that. And then last but not least, patience. The reason I'm doing this series, this is part one of hopefully 3 or 4 series. The reason I'm doing this series is because we've been talking about depression and anxiety and, of course, bullying last week. And I felt like it is probably a good idea to kind of talk about what are those tools that the child is going to need to be able to withstand that bullying. I was bullied as a child, and I'm sure, to me, by thumbs up, who else was bullied as a child? My son was bullied, and I think one of my sons was a bully, but we nipped that in the bud. But the point I'm trying to make is you want a child who's going to be able to withstand that as an adult. All those little things that cause them to go into depression. Oh, my life is over. Oh, woe is me. I didn't get enough likes on my post. Therefore, it's time to kick the bucket, things like that. These are the tools you want to instill in your kids to help them navigate life. Because as you know, life is not going to be easy. But what do they say about lemons? You make the most awesome lemonade when you're giving those, right? And so you want to try to raise your kids to have those qualities. And next week, I'm going to have 5 more qualities for y'all. I'm very, very happy for those of you who were able to join me live. Thank you so much. I hope you were able to share the post and invite your friends to join us. And remember, we have another date next week, Sunday. I can't wait. We talked about 5 more qualities you want to instill in your kids to raise them to be empowered, cultured, happy, productive neighbors and adults, right? So I will see you all next week, Sunday. Please, please like my page, share, leave comments, leave questions. I've gotten a good bunch of questions so far, and I'm really excited. And I think I'm going to do one Facebook Live where we're going to just tackle the questions that I've gotten, because I've gotten some really interesting questions. Some of them about teens and some of them not about teens, but I'm a pediatrician, so bring it. So I will see you all next Sunday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you very much. Like my page. I'm also on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn for the adults. And I'm also on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. This is actually streaming live on my YouTube channel right now. Yay. I'm dropping all the lingo. And I think I'm also on Twitter. Yes, I'm on Twitter. So I have a couple more videos that I've done. If you're joining us for the first time, please ask Dr. Lulu, look up my other videos. It's all about empowering teens, raising teens that are going to be fantastic adults who want to stay and not want to just take their lives for, the smallest thing or even the biggest thing. I'm not going to downplay it at all, but that's been the theme, and that's what the theme is going to be for a while until we exhaust teens, and then maybe we can talk about other groups of children. But for now, I'll see you guys next Sunday. I'm so excited. I hope you're able to learn something today. And if you were, give me a thumbs up, and tell your friends that I'm here and I'm here to stay. My name is Dr. Lulu. I'm signing out. All right. See you next Sunday.